You're cute. Ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Try not to look miserable. Welcome back to another episode of Babe, We Need to Talk. I'm Alexx, your host. And today I have my husband with us. We just celebrated our 14-year anniversary this week. And so I just thought it would be fun to introduce y'all to him. We're just going to talk about our testimony, I guess, a little bit, our journey, how we met, all the fun things that married people talk about. So if you're interested, keep listening. He'll be my second guest, which seems kind of wrong. I feel like you should have been my first. But if you didn't listen to the episode with Kirsten, that one was a really fun one. And I'm excited to have you on it today.
Yeah.
He is a big reason. Oh, sorry. I interrupted.
It's okay.
It might happen a lot.
I'm here. I'm here for you.
I love you. He's a big reason that this podcast even exists. He's literally like my biggest supporter. Anytime I'm like, have an idea, he's like, yeah, babe, do it. And helps me get it all done. So I appreciate you and I love you.
I love you more. Proud of you.
Thank you. Do you want to tell them how we met?
We met in 5th grade.
So he's not lying.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have got the picture and brought it down. I'll have to post it later. I'll post it later.
Yeah, we met in 5th grade when I moved to a new school. I've been several schools for me. My frosted tips. She fell in love with me.
Shell necklace and K-Swiss.
Oh, the K-Swiss.
Oh, the K-Swiss. It was so cool. That ages us, but that's good.
That's all.
He was so cool. He was like the cool new kid in school because I had gone to the same school, and a lot of the kids that went there went to the same school for like my friend group since like kindergarten and 1st grade. I started in 1st grade, and you came in 5th grade. Which is when we met, so he was like the new shiny thing.
Everybody wanted to play.
Yeah. And so in 5th and 6th grade, we were boyfriend, girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
What did that even mean? What did we do together?
We went a lot of trips in your mom's Suburban to like the movies.
And we'd sit in the back and like hold hands and lean on each other.
The mall. And
they were called group outings because we weren't allowed to date.
See, I don't even remember like having those conversations with my parents. I just went with y'all. We went all kinds of places. We did a lot of skating at Skate Town.
We got to be the cool ones out there during the couple skate, which was, that was like.
That was it.
That was it. That's how like you knew. And hey, look at us now.
Yeah.
I don't think I could skate again, but I would injure myself.
We've done it a few times.
We have with the kids. And our youngest, and this is crazy. Okay, so, and then, in junior high, he moved away.
Yeah, so I moved a lot as a kid, so we did those 2 years at elementary school, and then we went to junior high, 7th grade, and I even switched schools in junior high, so I did a little bit at one junior high with her, and then went to another, like, charter school for, like, half the year, and then went back to that junior high, so. But then after 7th grade, we moved quite a bit further away.
Like an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Yeah, it's a really small town. And that's kind of where I did a lot of my growing up, I guess. So middle school and high school.
Did you, though?
Nah, I mean, you don't grow up until, mid-20s? So.
Yeah.
We were already married.
Yeah, we did our growing up together. Literally, though. I mean, 5th and 6th grade. And then in high school, we kind of reconnected because your dad still lived here.
Yeah. So I moved with my mom, after they had divorced. So we moved away and then came back. But we were we millennials, so like we got the whole transition with social media. So we started off with Amos and Messenger.
Oh yeah.
So
that was some good times.
Yeah. So in the chat rooms and whatnot. So and then MySpace.
Yeah.
So we found each other on MySpace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything was kind of coming up. So we had MySpace.
Zynga, do you remember that?
I didn't have a Zynga.
You wouldn't.
I was in a small town.
Yeah. MySpace and AIM, I think, were like the two main ones when we reconnected in high school.
Yeah.
And you went to a little small. He graduated with how many people?
36.
36 people in his graduating class. I went to a high school that was like 5A at the time. And I graduated with like 780 people or something like that. So we had very different high school experiences.
I don't even know if there was that many kids in our entire school?
Probably not, but they were in my graduating class, and he would go visit his dad on weekends, and so we would hang out because I feel like we've just always been magnets to each other.
Hang out and make out.
Gosh, stop it. I was not saved then. It was good times though, but then he got a girlfriend that hated me, which is fair because I'd hate me too, honestly. And we didn't talk for 3 years? About 3 years we didn't talk at all. And then good old Facebook, he went and added me on Facebook and slid it. What now they say he slid into my DMs, but really he just messaged me on Facebook. And then back then it popped up like an aim away. Do you remember how it would pop up just at the bottom and you'd like, it wasn't like a separate app, guys. Like Facebook Messenger wasn't a thing. Like you just talked. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, like a little chat box at the bottom.
Yes, chat box. That's what I want. That's the word I wanted. See, you're like the other half of my brain. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was in college.
Chat box. Yeah, you were at UNT, and I remember vividly. I was at my mom's house, I think, when you messaged me. Yeah, I was at grandma's house, and I was like, I know what you want, and you can't have it.
I was just like, hey, what are you up to? And she was like, I'm pregnant.
Literally, that's how it went, because when he added me on Facebook, I was like, I know what he wants. Like, he must have broken up with what's-her-face, and he's trying to see if he has any chance. He doesn't. But here we are.
Yeah, here we
are. Married.
Fought through it.
So. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was quite the journey, wasn't it?
It was.
So whenever I told, like, literally, he said, hey, what have you been up to? And I said, not much, just pregnant. Because I wanted to nip it in the bud. And what did you do?
I closed my laptop. And I went to class. I was like, oh, so I had some.
You said, I remember you replying. You said something, but we didn't have like a whole conversation.
No, it was pretty quick. I might have said something like, oh, that's cool.
I don't remember, but it wasn't a lot.
Because I went to class. I remember closing my laptop, being like, oh, I got to think before I continue this conversation.
Yeah.
So went to class, and I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm just gonna talk to her, you know. So we just started talking, and she still wasn't having it, and like she had a flat tire. So I was trying to talk to her mom too, because you gotta get in with the mom. So
yeah, like, he was trying to, and my mom was trying so hard to push me towards him too. She was like, did you reply to Wesley? I think he texted you. And I was like, yeah, but hello? Like, I'm having a baby and it's not his, like, clearly, which we'll get into that story another day.
Yeah.
But I was pregnant. I was being very protective of my heart and my child, because I was like, boy, you ain't talked to me for 3 years and you think you're just going to come in here and win me over. And you did. Well, so we hung out once. And it was like no time had passed. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And that scared me. And so then I ghosted him, which we didn't call it that back in the day. We just called it, we don't reply to text messages. And he would literally like text me and I wouldn't reply. And then he would just copy and paste that text again and send it again. Like an hour later, like, oh, she just didn't get it. And I would be like, oh my gosh, she's so annoying. Because I was trying so hard to like have my walls up, because it scared me when we hung out. I was like, oh man, he's the same Wesley he's always been. Because I wouldn't call him Wes back then. Now I do, because I'm
sometimes. Yeah.
But anyway, so then I had a flat tire, like he said, and my mom was like, why don't you see if Wesley can change it? So I did, and I cooked tacos, and he changed my flat tire. And 5 months later, we were engaged. I'm not even kidding. 5 months later, well, we had Mason I had Mason a few months later, and Mason was about 6 weeks old when we got engaged.
Yeah, I mean, I had to be all in or not in, right? And that was kind of the decision I had to make before I continued the conversation. I was like,
with the laptop closed?
Yeah, I was like, once I make this decision, I'm either all in or I'm not in. So I either continue and be all in, or I back off and never talk to her, because that was who we were. So I was either, be that person for her, or don't be involved, right? Because I could, there's no halfway. So
nope.
But
not when there's a kid involved.
No.
And I appreciate that so much, that you took the time to like decide before you pursued, because that would have been so much harder if you were just like, oh, we'll try it. Like, you kind of made the decision. I love you.
I love you. Good.
Yeah, we got engaged. It was nothing crazy. It was just at the park across the street from our house. We were walking Mason one night, and I said yes.
That wasn't the first time I asked.
That's true. That wasn't the first time he asked, but I said yes that time too. You want to tell him the first time?
We were watching The Count of Monte Cristo, and I proposed with a string.
Like in the movie. Like in the movie. And Mason was... He was...
She probably doesn't remember because we were delusional.
We were so... Well, and maybe that's why I didn't feel like it was real. Because we were... I mean, he was a good sleeper, but we were delusional. And he... Whenever we got together, he actually had his own house that he, like, had a mortgage on and everything. He was a full grown-up. He and his friends moved me out of my apartment so I could move back in with my grandma and my mom, and into like their den area, which is almost like a studio apartment. Like, it had everything except a bathroom in it. And they moved, and he like stayed with me there through all of the sleepless nights of having a newborn while he was like paying for his own house to support me, which was because I needed to be with my mommy. I was 20 years old. I guess 21 a month later, but 21 years old with a new baby. I had no idea what I was doing. Nobody did. He was such a good baby. Thank God for Mason, because he has been the best, like, first kid, because we were like, we don't know what we're doing. We're just all grown up together, and he is so gracious to us most of the time. That's how we met and how we got together. We got married. We were engaged for like 18 months-ish. Yeah, because Mason was about 18 months when we got married. So we had a long engagement, which I don't recommend, but when you're paying for the wedding yourself, it's needed because you got to pay everything off. But it was a beautiful day, and we just celebrated 14 years of marriage. But in June, it'll be, 16 years back together.
Yep. We're awesome.
Which is so crazy, because he was my first boyfriend. I was not his first girlfriend, which is fine.
I had girlfriends all the time.
Yeah, you did.
Which is so weird to me, because now my kids don't, like my daughter, but not even as early. I was always interested in girls. But I think part of that was because the way my parents were like divorced at a young age. So they were always around, like they're always dating or on the hunt for somebody. So I kind of picked up on that.
That makes sense.
You know, so I'm glad our kids don't have to go through that
anymore. Yeah, I know. It's hard.
Grow up in their own life and not have to worry about finding somebody.
Yeah, well, our daughter's boy crazy, but yeah, he was my first boyfriend, my first kiss. And yeah, I just love him. I love you. Thanks for doing this with me today. It was fun. We just, like I said, we celebrated our 14-year anniversary on Wednesday. Today's Friday. So this actually will come out probably like 2 weeks later. But he was so sweet. He surprised me with 14 gifts of like my favorite things. So like little things. So he got me this necklace because I love a good gold jewelry. And he got me like socks, bath bombs, Cokes, Reese's, candles, a book, a blanket. It was a very, very sweet gift. So guy, if any guys are listening, which I kind of doubt, but the girls that are listening, drop the hit to your guy. It was I loved it, honestly, so much more than like a big gift. It was like, he like really knows me. Like 14 are my favorite things. And donuts.
Gotta have the donuts.
Gotta have the donuts. That is my weakness. It really is. But anyways.
Donuts and a good coffee.
Yes. So obviously this is a Christian podcast. And when we started dating and got married, we did not go to church. We knew about God. We knew about God. We kind of thought we could like teach our kids about God, which is hilarious because we didn't know anything about the Bible. So like,
we teach them what we thought we knew.
Yeah, what we thought we knew. And when we had our second, so we have 4 kids. We should probably have said that.
Oh yeah.
We have 4 kids. So we had Mason. He has adopted Mason since then. Like he is Mason's legal dad, which he always was. He was literally in the delivery room.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
He was so caring and so I could cry.
Oh, there we go.
No, we're not. Okay. So Mason was 18 months when we got married, and then I remember on our first anniversary, I was pregnant with Abby. Our first anniversary. I was already pregnant with her. Yeah. I remember.
I believe you.
I know, because I had the baby bump picture in a black and white dress before we went to Del Frisco's.
Yeah.
That we had a gift card to.
Duh.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were poor. But I was pregnant with her, and so we had her she's, how old is she? She's 12 now. And then we thought we were done after that because it was really, really rough pregnancy, which I may share a testimony on that later. But when she was about, how old was she when we started going to church? 6 months.
Yeah, she was young.
Yeah, when she was young, God started, I didn't realize it was God at the time, started stirring something in my heart about finding a church and going to church because I wanted my kids to have a foundation of who God was. Like I knew that I didn't know anything about the Bible and that I knew that God existed, but that's about like the extent. I went to church on and off in high school. Like I kind of shared my personal testimony on that end on some other podcasts, so I won't go into it. But I decided for our kids, I wanted to go to church. So I brought it up to him and he was kind of against it. And not like against going to church. He was just like, didn't see the point, basically. I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. And then his dad moved out to where we live now and was like, we went to visit him and he was like, hey, there's church around the corner. I want you to go figure out the times because I want us to all go for Easter. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We went to the wrong corner.
Yeah.
We were like, there was nothing out here back then. And we were like, what?
Googled church.
We literally Googled church. And the first one that popped up was actually a church plant that met inside of a daycare. And we didn't realize that. We just, they had a big sign outside. We were like, cool, that's it. This is their times. We'll go. And the first message was about being all in with God. Do you remember? It's okay if you don't.
No.
It was about being all in with God, even though it was an Easter service. It wasn't an Easter service, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which your dad did not like.
No, he did.
He did not like that.
I went to church.
He was like, I want to talk about Jesus' resurrection.
Just like that.
I'm going to clip that and send it to just him. I love his dad so much. Like, he's the best. But anyway, so that one, like, it really got me. Like, it was what I needed. Mm-hmm. And after that, we started going to that church. Yeah. And we've basically been going to church ever since. We go to a different church now, which there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, and that's kind of how we got into, like, Jesus, I guess. Yeah. Started sipping the Kool-Aid. I'm kidding.
Yeah, watch enough of her podcast. You're gonna have some awkward moments.
I do. And I just have weird jokes that, like, I don't know, 90s kids would understand probably. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Following Jesus is not a cult. Just saying. Okay? Some people make it one. It is not one, and is not what I am promoting. Okay?
Figure it out.
Get my like bug eyes out. Anyway, yeah. It's been an up and down thing, but I don't know. You talk.
Me talk. Yeah. I mean,
about our walk with God. What do you want to say?
What do I want to say? Well, my mom's second husband was pretty devout Baptist, so we went to church pretty regularly with him. So I got saved at like the big Baptist church in Euless.
Oh yeah. Which is funny. Like that's where I would attend Wednesday night services. Remember they had it across the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I was saved there. I mean, I always kind of look back at that. I was like, was I really saved, or was I just, you're in Sunday school and they're like, you want to live forever, and they say this prayer and you live forever. So as I grew up, that's kind of what I struggled with, and then you're growing up and you gain more knowledge and you think that you know things, and so I kind of went back and forth on, my belief system and, what it was. I always believed that there was a God. I just didn't always know, what that path looked like, the Jesus path, which I think a lot of people deal with. So when she was talking about going to church, I was like, I don't know if we need to go to church. Like, you can have a personal relationship with God. Just how you have a relationship with a guy without going to church. The people that I always associated with church are not people that I'd want to associate with. A lot of, hypocrites, or, people that don't love the way that they're supposed to love. So,
which I think is still a problem in the church today, which is what I'm trying so hard with this too.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's kind of what we've learned over the years. Now that we're back in church and following Jesus in that way is, just because some people are like that doesn't mean everybody's like. And
it doesn't mean that's a good representative of God either.
So all we can do is love like Jesus and hope that other people do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's good. When did you decide that you wanted to marry me? or that you would be like that you wanted to propose and just do it all?
I was pretty close to that time. I had to shut my laptop and think about it. Like I said, I decided pretty quick. But I mean, with all that, like I'm very big on like wisdom of others. So like I talked to other people. I called my grandma, of all people. And I was like, "Hey, this is what's going on." I'm like, "Is it smart to get involved?" And she kind of said the same thing. It's like, if there's a kid involved, you better be ready to marry her because you're not going to leave that kid hanging.
You know who he didn't talk to is his dad, which is fine. But I show up to his dad's house pregnant, like 5 months pregnant, 6 months pregnant. Show up. He does not tell his dad I am pregnant. And when I leave, his dad says, "Well, she swallowed a watermelon seed, didn't she?" Because this guy, you turd.
I mean, you know.
But anyway, keep going.
Didn't need that.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know.
He loves me though.
So yeah, well, I mean, once we had that conversation and kind of talked to a few people, it's like, yeah, I'm ready to do this. So it seemed like I knew before I started pursuing, so I just kind of found the right moment.
Actually, never. Like, to be completely honest, I was never the girl who dreamed about her wedding. Like, dreamed about the dress and the cut. Like, so many of my friends were like, when I get engaged, I want a princess cut. Meanwhile, like, they didn't even have a boyfriend. But, like, they knew what ring they wanted. They knew where they wanted their wedding, all of it. And until him, like, being back in my life for good, I guess, I did not, like, that's when I started to dream about it. It was like, God opened that, which again, like, I didn't realize it at the time, but, like, God opened that desire in my heart that's what I would want. And so I was like looking at rings and like all sorts of stuff, which the ring he picked is not one I looked at, but I absolutely, like, I love it. It is, I had a chance to upgrade it on our 10-year anniversary. And I like was almost crying in the store because I was like, no, I can't do it. This is the one you chose. And so he added this band instead, which I love my stack. I really do. I'm obsessed. But I never, like, it's just, and I don't even remember a moment. I just remember being like, I know I'm gonna marry him, so
Yeah.
let's look at stuff. Like, I don't know. And I don't know. I feel like we went into marriage even before God, like before being so involved in church and like putting God at the forefront of our marriage. I feel like we both went into it with like the idea of like, we're getting married and we're not getting divorced.
Mm-hmm.
And we both come from, probably because we both come from broken families, like in the way of like divorce and remarriage and more divorce and remarriage on both of our sides. Mm-hmm. And we, I think, established just whenever we got back together that time that like, this is it or nothing. Like he said earlier, like, this is it or nothing, because we're not doing that. No. So
never.
And then once we started going to church and learned God's design for marriage and to put God first, and that it's God, spouse, kids, and then everything else, like, it made that decision even easier. Like, every fight, every hard thing, it's just like,
well, it is a decision, right? And I think that's why, personally, I think that's why a lot of marriages fail, is because everybody has an option, or they think they have an option. So, and then because it's really easy to choose that option when you think it's an option, right?
And that's not to say like adultery, abuse, all like those. That's not what we're talking about here at all. So please know that before we continue. Sorry, but yeah, I agree.
People just think, when you think there's an option and something bad happens. I mean, because bad things happen, and it's a lot easier to run away. But when running away is not an option, the only thing left is to fix it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, when you take that option away early, you start fixing things earlier than, most.
Yeah. And I will say every time that, and there hasn't been a time that I'm like, I thought we were on the brink of divorce at all, because it wasn't, maybe because it wasn't an option. I don't know. But when you go through those hard things and you decide, like, you already know, like, we're going to fix it and we're going to get through it, it makes it so much easier to do it. And then when you come out the other end, you're so much stronger, especially when you allow God in the midst of fixing it. Like, you're not just like, okay, we are going to fix this. We're going to give this over to God. and he's going to do what he wants to do with it. And he does. He mends it and he fixes all of it. And he's a good God, guys. Like, do you know him? God loves marriage and his design for it. And I am so grateful for this relationship. And a ton of people get very irritated. Like, I've seen a lot of videos where women are like, your husband is not your best friend. Like, stop saying that. And I'm like, okay, well, sorry for you. But he absolutely is my best friend. Like, I do have other best friends that are women. But if I had to choose who I'm hanging out with, it's him. Like, I want to hang out with him all the time. Like, my favorite thing to do with you is laugh. And he's so lucky I'm so funny.
Because I'm boring.
You're not boring. You're funny too. But I love making him laugh. It's probably my favorite thing. Like kissing you and making you laugh. But making you laugh is like, I love it. Really, like, he is the one that I want to tell everything to. He knows all my hopes and dreams, like all of them. And he is making plans for me to achieve them, even without my consent.
Do what I can.
You're pretty great. But I will say it all changed and got better. I mean, some of it got harder, but when we found God, because the enemy doesn't like that. Like, he really doesn't. And there were times in our marriage, like when I was pregnant. So we have 4 kids. We started going to church when our oldest daughter was 6 months. And then we had Holland, who is 3 years younger than Abby. And then we had Theo, who's 19 months younger than Holland. And we had a miscarriage in between those two, which was really hard. But he was so supportive. And I will say, when we decided to follow Jesus, I was baptized at some point in our marriage. I was not saved as a child, so I was saved later and baptized later. And I don't know, I would say you do a really good job of keeping God at the forefront of our issues, of all of it. I feel like you do a good job. Do you not think you do?
Sometimes I think I can do better. I mean, as every person probably thinks they can do better, but that's one thing that I'm still currently working on, is trying to be the leader of our household, because my wife is so strong and independent. But she does such a great job of managing our household. So that's what, usually letting her take lead on things comes a little bit easier. So I'm still working on, some of that piece of it. But I do, point us back to God when we are going through those struggles.
Yeah,
Because
I think that's kind of what I meant. Yeah. Like, when you're good about us taking it to God and stuff. And I mean, when I was pregnant with Holland, I feel like that was one of the hardest times of our marriage. Like, we weren't syncing up well or something. Like, I remember one of our biggest fights was about baths for the kids. Do you remember that? And it was just so silly. Like, looking back now, we have such a better routine. We communicate so much better. And I am so grateful for how far we've come, because I have so much fun with him, and we enjoy each other so much. But that doesn't mean it's always been easy, I mean, to get to 14 years of marriage, which I obviously, like, I'm hoping for a lot longer, but 14 years is a lot. It is. We've been together 16 and feel like we've both grown so much. Our prefrontal cortexes have finally
gotten where they need to be.
Where they need to be. Okay, do you want to do a fun little game?
Yes.
Okay, so I have some, like, silly, like, rapid fire questions, and we're just gonna point at whoever we think it is. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Am I supposed to look at you?
We can look at the camera and do it.
All right.
Well, we'll just look at the camera, because I have to read them, so I can't close my eyes, because I'm not that good. God, I'm not that amazing.
I can read with my eyes closed.
Listen, guys, I love sharing about Jesus, but my brain sometimes, like, I'll be talking and then the sentence just goes away, and I'm like, where'd it go? I don't know. And so thanks for sticking with me. Anyway. Okay, so who said I love you first? Really? I thought it was you.
I'm just pointing. It probably was me.
Okay. Who gets more emotional? Who cooks more? I feel like that's even.
Yeah.
I really feel like that's even. He will make big breakfast on the weekends, and oh my God, it is my love language.
I don't think there's ever a you do more than me, or vice versa on the cooking part.
I don't think so either. I feel like we're really good about it, and we cook together a lot.
Yeah.
Which is, I feel like it's so cool to watch. I like that's one of the things that I hope our kids look at and like see how well oiled we are together sometimes, because I feel like in the kitchen we're really good together.
Yeah.
Don't be dirty. Okay, who spends more? Really?
Yeah.
You think you spend more?
You spend more on some like personal stuff, but I definitely spend more money on like big ticket items probably.
I love this answer. That makes me feel better. Who's the stricter parent? Who's more stubborn? I feel like that's even. I feel
I can be pretty stubborn, but she's definitely more.
Who usually says I'm sorry first?
Me. First.
It's first.
I have more reasons to be sorry. Usually. I'm a guy.
Really, let's be really real right now. There are some times that we'll fight, and I'll look at him and I'll go, "Can we just get to the part where you say I'm sorry?" Okay, we're about to be done. We're about to close, but I wanted to see if there's any advice that you would give to newlyweds. Like if Mason is getting married, what advice would you give him? Put it that way.
Leaving is not an option. Number one. And find ways to have fun together.
I like that. Find ways to laugh. I really love laughing with you. It is one of my favorite things. It really is. I know I already said that, but okay. I like that.
What about you?
I'm going to look at it as if I was talking to Abby. Okay. I think one of my biggest pieces of advice, which I've not always followed, and I wish I had, is to, when you have a problem with your husband, take it to God and take it to your husband, not to outside counsel first. Like, I'm not saying that you shouldn't have outside counsel in your marriage. I absolutely think that you should. But I think that if you have an issue with your husband, you should go to God and your husband and try to resolve it there first. And then get outside help. But don't be afraid of getting outside help. So it's kind of like weird advice. But no, I really think that, and I have struggled with it, and I think that women struggle with it. Like, I'm mad at you, and instead of telling you or God, I'm going to go tell my friend, and she's going to fire me up and fuel my fire and be like, yeah, you're right. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have counsel. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think that we all need to be better about taking it to God. Like, hey, my husband upset me, and this is what he did. And I'd love if you fixed it. And then going to your husband and saying, hey, this really hurt. Like, I don't like that this occurred, and let him fix it before getting angrier. Yeah. So I think that's one of the pieces of advice I would give. Yeah. I like that. Anyway, well, thank you so much for doing this with me. This was so fun. I love you. We'll have to do another one later on. Yeah. It's more like biblical marriage advice or something. But I wanted y'all to get to know my husband because he's pretty great, and he's a huge reason that this page exists at all, because I am big on like having ideas and not executing them, and he's big on making me execute them. So I appreciate you. Mm-hmm. Anyways, if you do not follow us on social media, go follow us at what's my thing? At Babe We Need to Talk on Instagram and TikTok, and then We Need to Talk on YouTube. And
like and subscribe.
Comment. Let us know what you thought of this episode. We hope that you enjoyed it and that you got to know us a little bit better. But y'all have a great Monday, babes. Bye.